When did you get back? who you are. Thank you. How's your knee? Make a nurse out of it. She died. Well, I just say every morning I'd pick all the tools. I said, here we go, 1, 2, 3. They're all different colours, all different shapes. I hope we just where you're all going.
One on the end. Oh no, she's
Yeah, exactly. You know the sort of directions how to go. It's written on the back of the packet. All right, take care, Dory. You guys. Just leave me here.
I took your book.
No.
One such Once a jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree. He sang as he watched and waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me, waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. He sang as he watched and waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Down came a jumbuck to drink at the billabong. Up jumped the swagman and grabbed him with glee. He sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. He sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Up rode the squatter, mounted on his thoroughbred. Up rode the troopers, 1, 2, 3. With the jolly jumbuck that you got in your tucker bag, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. With the jolly jumbuck that you got in your tucker bag, you'll come a waltzing, you scoundrel, with me. Up jumped the swagman, sprang into the billabong. You'll never take me alive, said he, and his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. His ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with everybody. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. His ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me.
Welcome everyone. My name is Kelly Cheers and I am honoured to be the celebrant invited by Maude's family to conduct this commemoration of her life here today in conjunction with Peter Murray Funerals. Maude's family has asked me to express their deep appreciation to you all in being here, showing respect to their loving mum, mother-in-law, grandmother and great-grandmother. A special welcome to those that are joining us today via live streaming, with special greetings to Farley and Madeline in Austria, Vanessa, Patrick and Finley in the US, Tanya in Brisbane, and also to Maude's extended family in England, with whom she had always had a close connection with. If you had not yet done so, please check that your mobile phone is turned off and on silent. When the hands of time stand still and the last breath has been taken, there is an emptiness that cannot be described. No one can ever fill that space, but memories of time spent together will bring comfort. You all have permission to cry, laugh, to feel, to be in the moment as we remember and say goodbye to Maude here today. Today is about coming together, sharing memories, celebrating a marvellous life, and supporting Maude's family. We all have wonderful memories of Maude, and each adds to just what an inspirational lady she was. Maude, Annie, Maisie, Newman, died peacefully at her home, surrounded by her lovely family, on the 10th of May 2024, just shy of her 97th birthday. She now joins her beloved late husband Frank. To Maude's family, she had always been the centre of their world, the brains trust, the person that kept everyone connected, the go-to person, the one who had the magic memory, the storyteller. Maude enjoyed bush poetry. This particular piece was one of her favourites, and today will be read in her honour of Maude by her daughter, Jane. Please come forward, Jane. Hi everybody.
Our mum was an avid historian. She loved hearing people's stories and reading them. Reading brought her immense pleasure, and she read everything, and quite partial to the historical romance. She also thought that Michelle Obama was fabulous. Mum said that while her upbringing was quite Spartan, there were always books to read. She doesn't know how her mum got them, but she did. Poetry was always a favourite, and we were brought up on bush classics. Mum had lots of favourites, but My Country represents the devotion she had for the country adopted by her mother, the opportunities it presented, and the true essence of Australia. So My Country by Dorothea McCullough. The love of field and coppice, of green and shaded lanes, of ordered woods and gardens is running in your veins. Strong love of grey-blue distance, brown streams and soft dim skies. I know but cannot share it, my love is otherwise. I love a sunburnt country, a land of sweeping plains, of ragged mountain ranges, of droughts and flooding rains. I love her far horizons, I love her jewel sea, her beauty and her terror, the wide brown land for me. The stark white ring-barked forests, all tragic to the moon, the sapphire-misted mountains, the hot gold hush of noon. Green tangle of the brushes, where lithe lianas toil and orchids deck the treetops, and ferns the warm dark soil. Core of my heart, my country, her pitiless blue sky, when sick at heart around us we see the cattle die. But then the grey clouds gather and we can bless again the drumming of an army, the steady soaking rain. Core of my heart, my country, land of the rainbow gold, for flood and fire and famine she pays us back threefold. Over the thirsty paddocks, watch after many days, the filmy veil of greenness that thickens as we gaze. An opal-hearted country, a wilful, lavish land. All you who have not loved her will not understand. Though earth holds many splendours, wherever I may die, I know to what brown country my home thoughts will fly.
Thank you, well done. And I did. You didn't need me standing by your side. Did a great job. And it is such a beautiful poem, stood the test of time. Your mum would be really proud. Maude was a woman who was very strong-willed and pragmatic. She was not only a wife, a mum of 4 children, but was also a wonderful cook. The family seamstress. I've heard of those uniforms girls for boarding school. The business head, and being great with finances, held the job of keeping the family and business accounts for many years. Maude was instrumental in buying their first of many fishing trawlers through the money that she had carefully saved and hidden away in the family biscuit tin. Must have been a good biscuit tin, that one. Sounds like a ripper, Chris. Maude was very determined. I have been told that she had only just given up mowing the lawns 6 months ago. and very reluctantly stopped driving her own car around lakes just more recently. Both Maude and Frank were always hard workers. They worked and lived for their family and tried to make it easier for those that they loved. Planning at their last home in retirement up on Thorpe's Lane centred around having enough room for all of the extended family to be able to visit together over the Christmas and summer holidays. Maude even ensured that the internet was connected so the children could work or study from the family home. To now share with us the amazing life story of Maude, I would like to invite her two sons, Chris and Ben.
Hi everyone. Public speaking is great fun until you have to do it. Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome and thanks for coming today. We're here to talk about my mum's life, pay tribute and reflect on who she was. I'm Ben, the younger son. There are four of us, and a good number of grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Mum took great pride in the family she started, and we loved and cherished having her at the head of this fabulous and dynamic mob. You remain a child whilst you have a parent. I am someone's youngster just because I have a mum, but now no more. For our loss, I am sad. But this is a selfish sentiment, and one I must put to one side, and more importantly, celebrate the successful conclusion of a remarkable life. Mum loved a party, Christmas get-togethers, weddings, even funerals. With family and friends, it was something to plan for and look forward to. The best part would be catching up to all the people who you have not seen for a while and have a good old chinwag. She would enjoy today, and we hope you can take time to socialise and reminisce with us. There are some photos and paraphernalia in the lobby to assist. Please have a look when you can. If you were to write a script on how to live, love and succeed, it would mirror Mum's life. There are a good few elements to ensure life goes well: hard work, love, care and dedication to family. One important factor I would like to acknowledge is the blessing of good health and luck. It played a part in all achievements, and we have had ours when and where it counts. Some have not enjoyed this, and it is not lost on us, but we, and this includes Mum, have been fortunate. Mum had rude good health, a determined and pragmatic mind. She would mow the lawns until about 95, determined to keep active. It was my job each Christmas to find a smaller lawnmower to ease the way. It didn't help when Mum would put the settings to its lowest and complain that it was hard to push. Arriving at Gran's house involved engaging in the endless jobs list, carefully arranged to take advantage of a particular skill and in descending order of importance and the likelihood of success. In Mum's mind, work was the key to success. She went to exercise classes regularly and would be quite annoyed if she could not attend for one reason or another. There is a video of her stretching and exercising just 2 weeks or less before she passed. She took up painting, and in our own houses there are various bits of art of questionable quality. They are all precious now. The fact that she never really got old in a traditional way amazed us. She remained in the present, always, and only reminisced to make a point about the present, intensely interested in current issues, politics, art and technology, particularly where it related to one of the grandchildren or their parents. Gran's tool of choice was a compliment. She would systematically work around friends and family and say something nice. It was quite disarming. She exercised the power of positive thought. Mum's glass was always half full. In fact, our instructions for today from her was no tears or hissy fits. That might be a bit of a hard one. the royals. She was an avid royal watcher, at least the real ones, not the current crop of imposters. And if you don't agree, you would best keep it to yourself. I tried to present a different view once. It didn't work out well for me. It all started with a teenage romance and a partnership that stood the test of time. And after a long and protracted illness, Dad passed away 9 years ago. She did not fade away after this loss, but refocused and became the centre of Newman family operations. Birthdays, Christmas holidays, special occasions were conducted at Gran's house. Mum revelled in this role and life continued at a cracking pace. We'll take some time today to describe Mum's life. It's a fascinating story with most humble beginnings, but a history that defined Mum and one she remained proud of. Parents, grandparents, relatives, partners and friends, past and present, have been the most decent of people. I thank you now for your friendship and kindness. Mum passed at home after a short illness. We thought she had more time, but in the end we had just enough to gather the family and say goodbye. I had rushed home, closely followed by Jane and Philip, when it became obvious that we did not have time to delay. Being worried for her, I asked if she was frightened or scared, and she said in a positive and definite tone, "Not at all. I have nothing left to do. I've done it all." And then, profoundly and gently, she was gone. Thank you. I'll pass over to Chris.
Good morning. Hi. Mothers are amazing. So was ours. Maude Annie Maisie Newman, nee Farley, was born in Wonthaggi on the 16th of June 1927 to Evelyn and Arthur Farley. Mum's story really begins with our granny Evelyn May Mosley, who came from England as the nanny come housekeeper to a wealthy family. This family returned to England for a holiday, and due to the death of the husband there, didn't return to Australia. So Gran might have got dumped, or she elected to stay in Australia and take her chances as a young unmarried woman. We believe she had many adventures before meeting and marrying her husband Arthur Farley in San Remo. They quickly produced 3 children, Maude, John and Bill. Mum's nickname was Biddy, which was her mother's pet name coming from Bridget. That was something her mum always called her. Arthur died suddenly at 48 when Mum was just 6 as a result of injuries he received in World War I. Times were hard, and the little community that they lived in of New Haven had very little, but they supported the Farleys the best they could. Mum told stories of the neighbours and friends, especially the Kroll family, who at times literally fed and cared for them when our granny was working or feeling very low. Mum was educated, not sure that she would use those words, but she did go to school in New Haven at the local school, which was at the St Paul's Boys' Home. And 3 little girls, which was the number of girls in this little school, boys' home, were a definite nuisance in classrooms dominated by needy young boys. Mum said she never learnt much. We think she did because she was pretty smart, but clearly she did not enjoy it and later resented the lost opportunity. Life was tough, but seemed to be happy with quite a bit of freedom. Our mum would have been responsible for many household chores in those days. Her brothers were so young, and in jest she always said Uncle John could never be found when there was work to be done. Mum's main job that she complained about or explained to us was trimming the wicks and on the lamps, sure that they were ready for the evening, because electricity hadn't been invented then, or certainly wasn't at New Haven. Phillip Island before the bridge was a world apart. even for those times. She just said of these times, life was hard. There was, in those times, very little in the way of pensions and support services, so they were on their own. At the age of 16, Mum was offered the job of postmistress at the New Haven Post Office, becoming the youngest postmistress in the country. This was an amazing opportunity because there were no semi-professional jobs other than this. The job came with a residence attached to the post office telephone exchange, so Mum became the principal breadwinner for the little family. She and Granny dealt with so many events, good and bad, as the key communications on the island. There were only 3 telephones in New Haven at the time. We constantly marvel at some of the gorgeous clothes Mum wore, as you'll see in the photos in the foyer. Being a competent seamstress was a given in those days, so if one or other of the girls in the town had a new outfit, so did Mum. Somehow our Gran managed to conjure up something for her. In those days of online shopping, Mum reminisced about the amazing Maya catalogue. This was the absolute lifeline for isolated communities with no shops, where your food come across on the boat from San Remo once or twice a week. From the catalogue you were able to order pretty much anything. It would be delivered within days, exactly as pictured, and if it wasn't right, you sent it back. Mum bought her wedding dress, which you can see in the foyer, this way, and probably her bridesmaids' dresses as well. About 1939, Uncle John brought home a boy called Frank. He needed a bed in the area for a family funeral, and Gran offered one in their house. He came from a respected family, the Newmans. And after this, Dad never really went away. Yeah, he stuck. I think they were 12, 14, but anyhow. At 17, Dad started building his first boat, the Lady Gay. Gay was Dad's nickname for Mum. So all their courting days revolved around building this first boat. They were married when Dad was 21, Mum 20, and another family story was the minister explained to Dad he wasn't quite sure whether he was fully ordained at the time of the marriage, so he gave Dad his money back, his 23 shillings for the day. So make of that what you may. Mum became pregnant with me in 1952. It was the best of times and the worst as well, when her little brother Bill was killed in a hunting accident at the age of 19. Mum never really forgave the world for that. She was white hot angry that all that effort to bring Bill up came to nothing. I was born a few months later. About this time, Granny Farley was the recipient of a house that was built with donated funds, and Mum and Dad were able to buy the block of land next door and build a new house as well. Soon after this, fishing faded around the area, but there was good fishing to be had in Lakes Entrance, so Dad decided they needed to move them to lakes. Now this is another one of the oft-repeated stories of our childhood. Dad floated the move to Lakes Entrance. Mum was not impressed. She pointed out that she'd only been in a new house, depending on the story, 3 or 12 weeks, had a new baby, me, and was not much interested. To which Dad said, well, you can stay here and starve or you can come to Lakes. With the move to Lakes came new experiences and friends. Amongst the hard work, it seemed to be a happy and stable period. They first stayed at Venga Guest House, where Mum worked cooking and cleaning in return for their board. They made lifelong friends with the Clements family. They then moved to Mrs. Bulmer's honey house, which was a makeshift bungalow under the tank stand out back. From there, the fishing was good, and very quickly a very neat 2-bedroom home with a proper bathroom inside. Toilet was still outside, but it appeared in Laura Street. Mum and Dad had a very definite plan, and Mum said that from their very early days, when it was getting obvious that Dad was not going away, she needed to get with the program. Oh, no. Is it two? Hang on, no, I've got Mr. Page. Sorry. Lots of pages, please. Apologies for this, but it's a big story and I'm telling it as quick as I can. He told her he wanted a 55-foot boat, a triple-fronted brick veneer house, 4 children, and they were going to go to school until matriculation. The Lady Gay was a seaworthy and dependable little boat, but it wasn't the end game. It was the one that he had that was going to get him the one he wanted. Yeah, another thing Mum was big on was the Newman family. She said one of her earliest memories of the family was going to a Newman family event where there were so many of them. They were loud and friendly and nice. And she felt at home because with only 4 in their little family, she said if they dropped off the end of the world, no one would ever have noticed. Sorry. Yeah. Jane was born in 1956 and Miriam in 1958. Our childhood was the dream that Mum and Dad had for us, so far removed from their own. Mum was a great cook. We had access to fresh food and meat because there were shops in Lake Severance. Such luxuries as having her hair set regularly by Norma Bills became a thing for Mum. Her passion born out of need at this time was sewing. At night when Dad was at sea, she would sew and create our clothes, our dolls' clothes, and with Granny Sadie's help, special occasion outfits. They made the cutest outfits for Max and Coralie's wedding. Mum became close friends with Margot Brown and we children played together as our yards basically had a common boundary and fences were not a thing in those days. It was about this time that Mum started to stretch her wings a bit more. She and Margot were drivers at the first kindergarten and later moved to the Mothers Club at Lakes Primary School. Margot often drove us to school in her very small green Triumph Herald. It was really stretching the friendship to get us all us kids in. It was quite a remarkable feat. So Mum decided that she needed to get her driver's licence, which she did at the age of 36. The fishing was good in lakes and Dad did well and Lady Jane was commissioned. So the 55-foot boat was done. Next came the triple-fronted brick veneer house and then lo and behold, Mum and Dad discovered that baby number 4 was on the way. Ben was born in 1965 and an absolute joy to our family. So the program was shaping up nicely. Mum had her triple-fronted brick veneer house, there was a Butte flash boat and 4 kids. So then stage whatever it was happened and off I went to boarding school, closely followed by my sisters. One of our parents' underlying ambition was to improve the level of education they experienced. It was a non-negotiable and we were expected to embrace and make the most of the opportunities presented. Mum's mum, Granny Farley, came to live with us about this time, so Mum had her hands full again with a new baby, an invalid mother, expanding business and children at boarding school in Melbourne. As we moved through our education, there were various events that had to be attended and this demanded some style, including quite elaborate hairdos, which couldn't be obtained in Melbourne on a weekend. So Mum decided if she was going to attend these events and not look like something the cat dragged in, she was going to have to invest in a wig. The wiggies. Which was a popular course of action in the day. Over time, the wigs grew in number, as it was not possible to attend multiple functions without a new hairdo for each. I know there was 2, there might have been 3 in the end. but I remember the back seat of the car full of wig boxes, because each wig had its own stand and its box, and it was still the funniest thing that Mum was so proud of her wigs. Up to this time, Mum was just Mum, but after I returned home from school with that HSC Year 12 certificate, I got to experience and understand Mum's role as an enabler. By now our parents had invested in other boats in partnership with other fishermen. Over their career, Mum and Dad owned and invested in 13 different vessels, supporting and encouraging young men in their endeavours. This was Mum the enabler with a biscuit tin full of bank books, where she squirreled away funds, and if a project was worthy, the biscuit tin came out and Mum would tell us what our budget was. Mum and Dad about this time were greatly affected when Uncle Ron passed away suddenly. Ronnie had been with Dad and Mum for most of their adult lives. A good example of how Mum worked is the Ken Dean, still a fabulous fishing boat in Lake Cypress today. Rick turned up with his plan. By lunchtime, we were on our way to Tasmania to look at boats, armed with a deposit from the biscuit tin. Lady Miriam was built the same way. She said she didn't want another second-hand boat, she wanted a new one. So off to Tassie again, this time just for a set of plans. Some of their proudest achievements were with their partners and their partners' subsequent success. Mum and Dad were not regular holiday makers, but they did enjoy travelling. They were able to have multiple overseas trips, visit relatives, as well as explore the world. They travelled Australia, visited grandchildren and participated in their events and achievements. Time moves on and we children finish school and moved on to our own careers, life pathways that have included partners and, for Mum and Dad, grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Yes, grandchildren. The grandchildren really are the culmination of the ambition and the plan. The relationships they nurtured with their grandchildren were extraordinary, especially for Mum. An example of this is when Leon, Jane's eldest, was deployed to Afghanistan. Mum made sure he had a parcel from home every week. Leon reported that having returned from patrol, his bed would be covered in boxes, some hand-painted with scenes from home. He and his gran were legendary. That was the level of determination she showed with all her grandchildren. Getting there. The next big event in Mum's life was Dad's illness. And at the age of 70, Dad develops a very rare condition that can't be cured, but it can be managed. This was hard on Mum, and whilst we did as much as we could to help, she was the one watching her life partner falter, and it was a long path. Dad, who lived another 18 years. But Mum was determined and resilient, and the both of them undoubtedly had a plan. She had an ever-expanding family. During Dad's illness, Mum started art classes with Rhonda. She loved the new creative self, and pretty much anything not moving, lying around, got a flick of paint and some artwork. She thoroughly enjoyed her lessons and the new learnings and companionship with other things that she enjoyed. We will inherit the biggest amongst other things, we will inherit the biggest collection of paintbrushes known to man. For the last 9 and a bit years of Mum's life, she's run the show independently. She ran her own finances, her businesses, and oversaw it all. Her accountant, Anthony, would often get corrected if there was a typo or an incorrect date or figure on her tax submission. Mum was able to remain home and looked after her house and garden with minimal help. She valued and recognised the benefits of her exercises and the friends she made there. She enjoyed the people she met there. Mum became very friendly with her neighbours, who kept an eye out for her, especially Frank and Helen, who became very special friends and they entertained her no end with their adventures. We as a family have been very lucky. Mum lived a long life and was mentally and physically fit till the last. Many people do not get that privilege. We also got to be part of an amazing woman's life. And a few thank yous, her friends and neighbours who kept an eye out for her. Doctors Patrick Kinsella and Tom Alban, the Lakes Health Clinic, especially the exercise classes, Bairnsdale Hospital and staff, the palliative care team, the RFDS transport team and the staff at Peter Murray's. All these people and services carried out for both our parents with love and respect and utmost professionalism. And not the least, we thank Mum's iPad for giving her so much pleasure and connection with solitaire in these past few years. So thank you. I apologise that it's gone a bit longer than normal, but it was a really big story.
Just touched on it.
Told, yeah, we've only just touched on it.
I was quite settled listening to all of that. That was well done, well done. Truly an amazing life. Thank you. Sharing your dear mum's story, a fantastic effort. She would be really, really proud. I must admit, I am being so careful not to say kids or grandkids, as when I met with Chris, Jane and Miriam, I was told that Maude hated the word kids. She was known to say that the children are not baby goats, they are children. So I will now ask the grandchildren to come up and share tributes to their gran. Maude was immensely proud of all her grandchildren. For our first tribute, we will now hear from Luke and family to share some special memories of their gran. You can come up. Done.
Okay, so what I'm going to say today is interwoven with a pile of quotes from Gran, sort of for her, but also slightly against it. Okay, Gran, she was born before sliced bread. That's quote number one. Right? She lived an astonishingly long life. She was able and robust and independent right until the end. You know, we're talking about only a month ago that we start to see this sort of serious decline. And this is, as Chris has said, you know, this is something that we can only strive for, you know, to live that strong life, great longevity. Her outlook was good. A lot of people have heard that one. Even when things seem to be not quite so, or not quite going her way. So, as Chris already told us, you know, we've got the story about being told if you don't come to Lakes Entrance, you'll starve. So, you know, she just had to get on with the program. It was good. Despite having achieved the status of past old, you know, she was never so proud as to learn from her grandchildren and her children. Remember, by your children you will be taught. Things were never lost. It will just be somewhere. As a young person, this statement just infuriated me. But as I got older, I realised that she was actually saying to me, don't worry about it. Things we cannot control are not worth worrying too much about. A great admirer of her grandchildren for their ambition and industriousness, she devoted a great deal of time to being present and involved in our lives, providing a wealth of information and life experiences. I am grateful to have had the opportunity to learn and listen to how they lived and how the world has changed since 1927. And you also need to think, her mother heard the bells tolling when Queen Victoria died. This is seriously living history. It's an amazing thing to be able to claim to have been separated by so little to such a world that has been so changed. Her passing is profound. To my mum, my aunts and my uncles, this is the loss of both their parents. to myself and my brother and to many of my cousins, this marks the remaining grandparent lost too. The guard has now changed, and our generational roles are shifting. Children are becoming adults now, and the adults are becoming our elders. Grandpa, turn around once more and meet your wife again.
Well done, Luke and family. Our second tribute is from another of Maude's grandsons, Farley, who is based in Austria, and due to the amazing world of technology, he sends his tribute.
Grandma, thank you for filling our lives with stories, laughter and wisdom. Your love for discussion and storytelling made every conversation with you a joy. I will forever cherish our memories together and your unwavering support. Rest in peace, knowing that your legacy of love and wisdom lives on in all of us.
Another wonderful tribute. I would like to now invite Alex to share some memories of his gran.
Welcome everyone. I'll go off script straight away and just regard one of the stories Gran liked to pass over quite frequently with me is at her 90th birthday down in Lakes. Was one of her proudest moments, looking around the family and seeing all their beautiful faces and just realising she, without her, none of us would be here. So she did like to really back over that one. I think it was one of her defining moments in life. So firstly, hello everyone and welcome. For those who don't know me, my name's Alex. I am the number 3 grandson in the family. I must stress this is in birth order only. Unfortunately, after many years of trying, we'll never truly know who was the favourite. Although I'm tipping it was probably Vanessa, who was the only granddaughter. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge that I'm speaking on behalf of my brother Leon, who's down here with an impressive chest full of medals, and my sister Vanessa. I know Vanessa, Pat and Finley will be watching for their home in Washington today and would dearly love to be here, so I hope you continue, guys. We send our love and support to you guys. I know you're doing it tough, and also Tanya up in Brisbane as well. As I sat down to write a speech for today, I was overwhelmed with how I could possibly do justice while speaking of someone who would live such a rich and full life. Nearly 97 years to be exact. I couldn't possibly fit all of what I needed to say into a few minutes, so I'll go on with what our Gran meant to us. And as I thought about all of Gran's life accomplishments, her proudest achievements, I continued to be drawn back to a couple of points. How much she valued her family and the way she made you feel. Gran has and will continue to be a pivotal role model in our lives. Both her and herself and Grandpa have left a legacy for all of us built on hard work, determination and achieving our individual potential. Their focus to maintain a tight-knit family was clear when they realised their dream and built their home on Thorpe's Lane. This new home had a multitude of bedrooms, bathrooms and an enormous shed. First impressions were that it was clearly surplus to the needs of its new owners. However, for Gran and Grandpa, it was perfect. It gave them an opportunity to provide the hub for the entire family for the next 20 plus years. It was somewhere we could stay, holiday or just seek refuge when we needed for a few days. Typically on each arrival, multiple cups of tea would be had and a welcoming love would be felt. Gran often in the kitchen from about 10 AM, potting around. We never knew what she was doing in there, but she was slowly putting together that night's meal, often a beautiful roast for everyone. She kept an organised home, but it was always somewhere we all felt welcome. Gran was always interested and intently listened to the latest goings on and life events. She was always happy to listen and converse, always with a positive attitude and sense of pride within all of her grandchildren. She was open-minded, engaging and progressive with her thoughts. She never judged us
prosecuted us, or spoke ill of anyone. She was intelligent, curious, savvy, and proactive. To us, this was normal, but as we all matured, we realised this woman was made of superhero material. We will never forget our earliest memories of our grandparents at their Laura Street home. The beach trips, soda streams, and having access to a VCR or riding our bikes to the local milk bar were luxuries we were not accustomed to with our normal life on the farm. Some may even say deprived of. Along with our prized company of our gran and grandpa, of course, we could not ask for more of our formative years and relationships with them both. You made us feel so loved and special. With each addition to the family of my wife, Brandy Leigh, Vanessa's husband, Patrick, and Leon's wife, Tanya, to the family, you extended your love and welcoming personality to each one of them, truly getting them to know them on an intimate level and forming a strong bond and understanding with all of them that made them feel part of our family. That extended even further with the addition of their three great-grandchildren, Archie, Nixon, and Finley. They all adored you and incredibly lucky to know your great-gran. Gran, I'll miss our long chats, your encouragement, your positive affirmations and the sense you instilled in all of us that we were doing okay. I'll miss visiting you. I'll miss you the way you would often boil the kettle 10 to 12 times in a row to get that cuppa just right. I'll miss your ability to tell the same story over and over with precise detail. I'll miss the dinners followed promptly by dessert and the phrase, "Are you sure you've had enough to eat?" I'll mostly miss the way you made us feel. Gran, today we are sad you are not here. We have cried many tears and will continue to do so. However, we find peace in you left us in the best way possible. Surrounded at home by your loving and devoted family, at peace, satisfied and positive with a smile until the end. An ending befitting of your incredible life, finally reunited with Grandpa.
How proud must she be of all these boys, hey? Okay, and now we've got another beautiful tribute, of course. We've got Josh. Right, mate?
I can't get over how perfectly suited the coffin is for Grant. It's remarkable, just as remarkable as she was. Grandma, you were placed together to talk, to work, and to rest. You were placed to laugh, to cry, and to love. You were as proud of us as we were of you, the glue that effortlessly bound us together as a family. I'm going to miss the warm bowl of soup and piece of Helen's fruitcake whenever we dropped in unannounced for lunch. I'm going to miss our mildly heated debates as we watched the afternoon session of the National Press Club. I'm going to miss teaching you about the latest tech gadget you never knew you needed, and listening to your competitive enthusiasm when describing the adrenaline-pumping workouts you religiously made part of your weekly routine. If I don't use it, I'll lose it. I'm 96, you know. You're an integral part of every fishing expedition that provided what we enjoy today. We will miss your unconditional support. You were more than a grandma. Thank you. We will never forget. There is so much more to say, Grandma, but sadly today, we are forced to say a final goodbye. May you set sail on a frosty morning to grounds no other man knows. Fear not the ocean's fury, as your vessel is worthy of the sea. Let the strait be kind as you take your fill, and the wind be on your favour when you're homeward bound. Land your catch unspoiled, nourish those in need. Let your bounty be fair for you to share with those brave enough to follow. This is not the first time you've ventured beyond the horizon's depth, but today you step aboard your final voyage. Let the winds be always in your back and the sun shine warmth upon your face. Your memory will stay with those of us loved and left behind. Thank you.
Well done. You did it. We have one more beautiful tribute. This is another clip sent from the one granddaughter, Maude, from Maude's granddaughter, I should say, Vanessa in the US.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Wood, Gran's only granddaughter, also the daughter of Jane Frances Gray and the mother of Finley Francis Wood. I'm so sorry I can't be there with you all today. I really wish I could be, but I'm on the other side of the world. But I really do want to share a few thoughts and memories about Gran with you today. I remember once when I was a little girl waking up in the morning and crying to Mum because I longed for Gran. I missed her so much. I remember Mum hugging me and telling me it's okay, we'll see Gran soon in the school holidays. And of course we did, and I'm sure it was a wonderful holiday full of all the memories that we cherish so much of spending time with Gran and Grandpa in their house and home and their gardens and their Grandpa's shed, and of course all the cherished memories of being with Gran and Grandpa and the warmth and love that that entailed. So today, once again, I cry with longing for Gran, but also I'm happy. Happy to have spent my life knowing and loving this amazing woman who taught us so much. You knew Gran, you knew a woman who was exceptionally kind, curious, practical and smart. All these qualities I see in my mum, Jane, and all these qualities I aspire to and to also grow in my daughter, Finley. I was always amazed at Gran's openness to new ideas and thoughts, her eagerness to know all about what was going on in our lives and to make us always feel so special. Her pride in her grandchildren was relentless. She was an amazing listener. When you talked to Gran, you knew she heard every word you said and reflected on those words deeply. So I want to thank Gran for being the matriarch of our strong family, for being my mother's mother, and for being consistently warm and loving presence in our lives, for raising my mum to be as warm and resilient as she was, and in doing so, setting a standard of womanhood I aspire to and that I'll grow in my daughter Finley Francis. Gran set the standard, a gold standard. We're all just doing our best to follow her lead. How lucky we were to have had her.
Lovely again. Again, what a proud Gran Maude would be. Such wonderful tributes from her grandchildren and family. Well done to everyone. I know just how difficult it is to try and capture all your feelings, love and emotions, and then to come up and stand and speak in front of people when you are grieving and you're missing such a much loved member of the family. So again, great work everyone. It has been said that one picture is worth 10,000 words, and as part of this celebration of Maude's life, her family have put together a special collection of photographs and memories. Included in this are some of very recent video clips we've already heard a little bit about. The family wanted to share with Maude. These were only captured just over 3 weeks ago, I think. Maude doing her exercises, even doing bridges, so she wouldn't get her pressure areas all sores. Is that right? Well, in the hospital. Amazing. I can't do them at the best of times. So this is the time that we call reflection, and it is just that, a time to reflect and remember. As the music fills the room, allow your love and memories of Maude to fill your hearts and minds. Remember her and think of her, as you always will, with love.
I am sailing home again, across the seas to be near you, to be I am flying across the sky. I am flying to be near you, to bear me through the dark night, far away.
And all the beauty and all the hair, the sea, the sea.
As Chris told me, there's only so many songs and photos. As Chris told me, there's only so many songs and photos that we could play and fit into today's ceremony. To the hearse and graveside at the Lakes Entrance Cemetery, who was also so generous and loyal.